Every year, we have one discussion, one debate about spring game attendance. And it's always fun, and people always lose their minds. And it is Exhibit 6,336,724. Why fan is short for fanatic, because people take this so personally. It's like somebody done said something about somebody's mama when you say something about a scrimmage game attendance. And so when you see the reaction to it, folks, of course, we're going to have some fun with it. Of course, your favorite team is going to have some fun with this. Now, this was not really something that was discussed this year until I was at the Clemson game. And let's see, the time of post here was 1:07 p.m. Okay. And I tweeted, great crowd at Clemson for the spring game today. They have set the bar. What you got, Gamecocks? Challenge issued. All right. So that's what I said about the crowd. It didn't take long for Gamecock fans to really pick up on that. That tweet, Diesel, this is unbelievable. You know, like, isn't it something how like snooty media members say, oh, they're having a conversation about spring game attendance. Diesel, I take a 21-second video of the Clemson crowd. It has been viewed 129,000 times. Viewed. And it's just the crowd with a little challenge. You know, what you got, Gamecocks? Challenge issued. Clemson has set the bar. 129,000 times that's been viewed. Why? Because it's a point of pride for these people, right? They take pride in, did we outdraw our rivals? Did we look good on TV? Did we look like we showed out? Did we look like we showed out? Let me tell you something, Clemson and South Carolina fans. You do a better job of this, your love of college baseball, your support for your football teams, rain or shine, anywhere, okay, is better than any other school in America, any other region in America. Both of you are outstanding. Now, with that said, Clemson had more people there than South Carolina did. They had more people there than South Carolina did. Oh, Mark Ryan, you're being a homer. Well, allow me to explain. Clemson Diesel announces that they had 50,000 fans in attendance. I tweeted that. Fifth most ever. When we put that out there, when I tweeted the video, there were already Gamecock fans making excuses when their game hadn't even happened yet. Nobody cares. It's only a spring game. Who measures the fan base? But they're using their defense mechanisms before they even see the turnout.
Building in the excuses
right.
before they need them.
Right. That's exactly right. So they're already dropping those down. And I thought this was a hilarious troll job, probably at me or Clemson, one of the two. I thought this was very well played and very, very interesting. Gamecock football announces that they had 51,000 at the game, which is hilarious, Diesel, for this reason.
I'm surprised they didn't say 50,001.
Right. 50,001 for this reason. Number one, there were no tickets to this game. All you can do is look at the crowd and estimate.
Yeah.
We didn't pass through any turnstiles. There was nothing like that. Okay. So the true answer is that Clemson doesn't know exactly how many people they had, and South Carolina doesn't know how many people they had. So South Carolina saying we had 51,000 strong, folks, I take it in the spirit intended. They're having fun with the spring attendance wars. But the number of idiotic fans, Diesel, that are like, ooh, eat that, Mark Ryan. We had more than Clemson. It's like, you don't get what they're doing. How can you not love this rivalry, man? Gamecock football goes second, right? They go second in the hypothetical battle that we created earlier that day. Who's going to have more fans? South Carolina goes second. They announced their number as being 1,000 more than Clemson because, of course, they would.
Well, if they announce it as 50,001, it would be an obvious troll job, which would be great in and of itself. But when you announce 1,000 more, you could just say, yeah, that's the numbers. Yeah, sure.
Sounds good to me, right?
Yeah.
You say tomato, I say potato. Sounds good to me.
The facility knows exactly what their upper and lower bowls hold.
Yep.
So they know exactly what the cap is because neither one of them sold their upper bowls. Right?
As do I, Diesel. As
Right.
do I know. And because I know what the lower bowls hold, I can tell you that Clemson had more people there than South Carolina. South Carolina's lower bowl holds between 36 and 38,000 people. Clemson's lower bowl holds 50,000 people. South Carolina's lower bowl was full. There was nobody in the upper bowl. Clemson's lower bowl was 90% full. If I'm giving you my honest estimate, I think Clemson had 45,000 people there, and South Carolina had 36,000 people there. And that's my best guess.
And that's a number you should both be proud of.
Right.
Both fan bases should be proud of that, but instead you start flinging grenades at each other.
Oh, you do. and Diesel, you and I just fan the flames of the whole debate. And it's fun and it's great. And if I was Gamecock football, I would have announced Diesel either 50,001 or 51,000, something that was more than Clemson, but kind of obvious that we were trolling.
I'm surprised they didn't announce 31,300.
They don't know. They don't know who's attending the game, Diesel. There's not tickets to the game, ladies and gentlemen.
And every time you try to explain that to somebody, no, this is how many there were. No, we know exactly how many there were. No, you don't, because there were no turnstiles. There were no tickets. No one knows.
So, yeah, Gamecock fans. Clemson had more fans than you at their spring game. Okay? I know how many people can fit in the lower bowls of both stadiums, and I was there at Clemson. I can tell you Clemson had more people than South Carolina did at the spring game. I'm sorry if that's not digesting very well with you, okay? But they did. I also give a thumbs up to Gamecock football for the somewhat hilarious troll job of 51,000. You don't want to see what 51,000 people in the lower bowl would look like. You've never seen it before. It would be very uncomfortable for everyone there, okay? But the lower bowl does not seat 51,000 there. It seats 36 to 38,000. So Clemson had more fans at the game. Congratulations to Clemson for having more fans at the game. I did poke at the Gamecocks a little bit when Chris Phillips posted a picture of the crowd right before kickoff. And on the student side, there was almost nobody there. And then it filled in. And I tweeted at the time, boy, they're majoring in L's in Columbia. How many people are there? 19,000? Explain yourself. I asked, how and why are Clemson fans so much more dedicated? And again, folks, I'm having fun with the attendance debates. To Gamecock fans' credit, they really filled in. I don't know how long they were there because it was filled in by about the end of the first quarter. And then by the third quarter, it was back to emptying out again.
Oh, you had to get those last 3 beers in before you walked into the spring game. You don't want to watch this thing sober. I've been to it, and that's not a dig on South Carolina. I've been to a couple spring games, and spring games are friggin' dull. I don't want to go to a spring game sober.
John Edward Kruger says, Mark, look at both sides of the lower bowls. They're packed. Yeah, John, they are. They are packed. Okay? Very much so. So credit for packing them for at least an hour. But, the stands were packed. They arrived at the end of the first quarter. Everyone was in their seats at the end of the first quarter. I don't know about you. I like my crowd in their seats before the game. But by the end of the first quarter, they were there. They started streaming out in the third quarter. But, John, I happen to know that the lower bowl at South Carolina seats 36 to 38,000 people. I happen to know that the Gamecock football account posting 51,000 was a troll job at Clemson, and they have no means by which to count. There were no tickets for this game. Clemson also doesn't have any means to count. Clemson said over 50,000 people at the game. Everyone wants their spring attendance number to sound good. Again, looking at this objectively.
They must have done what Michigan does and count the concession workers and the janitorial staff and the players on the field too.
Maybe they counted flies in the stadium as well. Give them a credit here. Diesel, like Clemson's lower bowl hosts 50,000. It was 90% full. So I estimate they had 45,000 people there. South Carolina's lower bowl hosts 36 to 38,000. I estimate they had 36,000 people there.
Headline from Gamecock fans tomorrow, or now already, will say, Mark Ryan says Clemson lied about spring game attendance.
Oh, yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome. Go ahead and use it. I don't care.
That is most certainly how it goes. And you can't escape it. So why bother? Why try? Right? Just enjoy the show. In the end, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about who likes you and who doesn't like you. In the end, if you are offering A-level content, people will come and they will listen to your show. You know, it's not about, oh, that Mark Ryan guy, there are people that don't like him. Well, why is that? Okay, well, I've said things that Shane Beamer didn't like. Okay. I said things that the Greenville Drive didn't like. I didn't know they weren't going to like it, but I said something that they didn't like about the attendance at the Clemson, South Carolina baseball game. There were more Clemson fans there. My son and my wife said the same thing. Okay, so I asked them before I formed my own opinion. I said, which side has more fans? Greenville Drive didn't like it. Am I going to stop what made our show what it is because I'm worried that people aren't going to like what I say? And they might not like you. No. Because, folks, I've learned through 18 years in this business, 18 years, that it's the content that wins. If you have better content than everybody else does, that's, in the end, what matters. And look, Diesel, would we rather be notorious or anonymous? Would we rather be notorious or unknown or nobodies? I choose to be notorious, right?
Infamy is a hell of a thing.
I'm notorious MAR.
Oh, God. Don't.
Diesel, it's gangster. It's gangster.
Oh, my God.
Just don't realize it. Don't hate that it's gangster. Okay.